Hey readers, before we get into the episode, this is a warning for sensitive topics that may trigger some people. Despite the humor and fun we bring to these episodes, even we forget on occasion that some things are difficult for people to discuss. Please be aware that this episode includes discussion of essay, stalking, abuse, and related content. If you're uncomfortable with these topics, I'm going to list a timestamp so you can skip ahead, and we'll also link some resources for anyone that might want them in the show notes. Take care of yourself, readers. Let's get into the episode. Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industry for generations with its cult following. That's right. Hold on tight, spider monkeys. We're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In this episode, we'll be discussing Book 1, Twilight, chapters 7 through 12, where Bella becomes entrenched in the world of vampires and Edward begins to open up, including that obviously totally fine bit about him stalking her.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the other seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
All right, well, last we left off, Bella had just left La Push, no doubt with a lot of questions about Jacob Black's story of the Cold Ones. After days of weird interactions and multiple life-saving maneuvers on Edward's part, Bella returns home, head swimming with visions of the Cullens and the wolves that are said to protect the Quiute land. Bella puts on some music. We find out in Midnight Sun, if you read it, that I think it's Linkin Park. And she escapes into a deep sleep only to dream of Edward Cullen on a beach and Jacob Black turning into a wolf. And in this dream, Jacob tries his best to pull her away from Edward, but she is very reluctant to do so. Meyer has said repeatedly that Jacob's character was only created to warn her about Edward, and yet we already have him turning into a wolf in a dream.
A reddish russet brown wolf, which is exactly what he turns into.
Yep.
And I was
I was going to say, what'd you guys think about the fact that it's right there?
I was like, prophecy? Does she also have the power of prophecy in her dreams? I've had those dreams.
I mean, true. I feel like we've all had deja vu and stuff like that, right? And also Mike is there randomly.
Yeah. I think is it just his voice, or does she actually see him?
If she sees him, she is ignoring him. I don't remember if she actually looks at him in the dream.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I read this. I was like, I do not remember that he turned into a wolf in her dream. And then, because by the time I read this book, everybody knew that Jacob was a werewolf.
Right.
But then I was like, no, nobody would know this at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think what really gets me about it is that she has said many times that she started the book at the meadow scene. That she started writing at the meadow scene. And then she finished the book and then came back and wrote up to the meadow scene. So she filled in. So I could see how she would fill in Jacob's character later, but it's surprising to me that she says that Jacob was inconsequential, but then she's already writing significance into his character right here.
Yeah.
Although she's also said that her characters she's one of those authors who are like, no, my characters are in charge. They just tell me their story and I have to listen. She was like, I didn't want Edward to disappear in New Moon, but he wouldn't listen to me. She was like, I fought with him.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe Jacob Black was just like, you thought I was insignificant, and here I am, bitch. Here I am. I am not going away.
So one thing I want to ask, and it kind of goes back to last episode, you said that she never meant to publish this, that it was just for friends and family. And somehow she blatantly wanted to publish it, though, because she sent it out to, like, did it magically?
She didn't think it would be published. Her thought process was that she would print it out and then give it to friends and family, and that was all that it would actually end up being. But then...
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So she did try to publish it, but she just didn't think it would ever get accepted, is what she says. She expected to have to print it herself, give it to friends, and then kind of be done with it. She says that she didn't expect it to get nearly as far as it did. And it's actually her publishers that insisted that she write Jacob into the story.
Really?
Yeah. So when she ended up finishing the book and had used Jacob to tell her about Edward, the publishers liked his character so much. They were like, you can't just leave him here like this. We want to see more of his character. And that's when she says she ended up expanding him into the importance of the universe.
Of your only diverse character.
But she had already written that back part, so she had to go back and push him into the story. Is that right?
So by the time she had given the publishers the book, she had written the beginning part too. So she had a full book and it had Jacob in it. But she ended up, when she sold it to the publishers, this is from my understanding, when she gave it to the publishers, they were like, this is great. We want to see more books. We think part of those books could be including Jacob. And we think Jacob's a great character. We really like him. You should make him more of a part of the story. And she didn't think that. She just thought that he was just kind of a foil. But he ended up being
a boil,
a fan favorite.
A boil, like on
a foil.
Oh! I thought you were talking.
Oh my God. A foil, like in the narrative sense.
F, like foil.
A foil to Edward's character. But yeah, at least that's what I understand about it. But what did you guys think about this dream? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into it a little too hard.
I thought prophecy.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought prophecy. I was like, when Edward makes her a vampire, she's going to have, the shielding, the maturity, and dream prophecy eventually.
Yeah.
Because, her vampires aren't overpowered enough.
I think what's interesting, and we'll talk about it later, is her characters are all, to me, really clear cut. I feel like there's not too much complication with them, and I kind of like that. But Jacob is that one character to me that he's just got, he's multifaceted. He's just got so many things going on. And maybe that's not the case right now, is because he's like a cute 15-year-old who's like happy-go-lucky, just wants to flirt with Bella. But once she really creates his character, he's got so much going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really, how much I read into the dream for that. I don't think I caught that at all. Oh. I think more of mine that I picked up on was the fantastic, like, mental exercise of the whole song thing. I am going to use that shit.
Of the what?
When she takes apart the song to keep from overthinking about him.
Oh, she's like, kind of, when she's using the music and she's trying so hard not to think of him. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of relatable. You want to listen to music just to escape.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
You know what music I can't get out of my head right now?
Don't tell me.
I don't.
Golden?
I don't listen to music. And what? I can't get this song out of my head?
I'm afraid to sing it because I don't know if we'd get caught. We get strike for like copyright or something. But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunter is on the brain. It's so catchy.
It is. I even played it for my dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to spread the gospel.
Just the
spread
song.
the gospel.
Just the song. Every time I say the name K-pop Demon Hunters in front of my mom, she gets this look on her face like, demons.
She's like, oh my God, demons. That's so scary.
Yeah. So
he's like the least scary demon I've ever seen, but okay.
No, he's the demon that all the book girlies are going.
Also, it's been confirmed, this is an aside, it's been confirmed that the tiger in the movie is not a demon. It's actually a spirit, like a spirit guy.
Of course the tiger is not a demon.
Well, he came along with the demons, so maybe we could have assumed he was a demon tiger.
Like a familiar?
It's also...
Sort of. It seemed like he was the familiar, yeah.
It's also been confirmed that they're going to make a sequel, make a live action, and make a musical.
No, they're not doing a live action. They're not doing a live action.
They are.
They said that they are not.
Netflix actually came out. It was just the other day, 2 days ago, where they were like, no, we've actually confirmed that we are doing a live action. We're doing a musical. We're doing...
That's not what I saw.
Sequels.
I saw that they said specifically they are not doing that. I swear to God. Don't ruin this for me.
I'm sorry.
You don't want a live action?
No, God,
Why?
no. No. Because they always fuck them up. Netflix has a terrible track record with turning animated things into live action. They make them awful every time. I mean, like, Avatar, kind of okay, I guess.
Well, what about the pirate one?
One of their better ones. Yeah, it's okay. That one's okay. I would say that's not a bad one. One Piece.
One Piece, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I can just see them getting somebody from a current K-pop group to play.
Absolutely.
Continue.
Yeah. I have thoughts on who that could be, but I will not speak my... I will just leave. We will be talking forever if I start talking
Who's
about
your
it.
bias?
I like Baby Saja personally. The one with the really deep voice.
So do you like
Okay, we should get back to
Felix
it. I love Felix. Okay. He's definitely based off Suga and Felix mixed together because he looks like Suga, but he sounds like Felix. And Felix also has like a baby face, so...
Okay, yes.
Anyway.
Sorry, that's all my Instagram has been.
We're going to have to cut like half of that.
But anyway.
Okay. So she wakes up out of this dream and she tries to have a normal day. She tries to wake up and just put on some sweats, but then she like walks into the forest and is just like being a weirdo. I don't remember reading this the first time.
Yeah, I was like, okay, look, honey, you can't walk on a flat surface. You gonna go tumbling into the forest?
Bless her heart.
But
she hates
Brittany,
all things green.
The important question, Brittany, how would she do on the parapet?
Oh God, she fall.
Oh my God.
I will give
Edward
you
would
that
be
one.
stalking her on the parapet. Like
Edward would have to jump off every 2 seconds and pull her back up. And
yeah. You know, if Edward could fly, he'd be the perfect assistant. He could just like
he just jumps really high.
Yeah. Although in the movie, it kind of he's nearly flying with the amount that he's like jumping in trees and shit.
Yeah, you can
like a Naruto character.
Really tell that he's on wires.
Okay, but so she goes into the forest and she's like, I had to confront these questions. I had to confront.
Do it in your bedroom, honey.
No, seriously. Like, why do you have to go into the damp woods for this? But she had to confront if it was possible that what Jacob had said about the Cullens could be true. And if Edward was a vampire, then what does she do about that?
She goes and looks it up on the internet. That's what she does about it.
Yep. And cue the scene where she just sits on a computer and like Googles everything, which in the movies, love that scene because it's so weird.
I think the movie is funny because she goes to Port Angeles first and
oh yeah, maybe you're right.
Buys a book and then goes home, opens it up, sees the cold ones, and then goes to her computer and goes, "What is this? It's in the book. Like, read the book you bought."
Yeah, but if you Google fucking cold ones, it's not coming up with vampires.
Yeah, no.
I mean, that's a whole different search.
Yeah. What do you think is coming up if you Google cold ones, Kristen?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I think she did it with the name of the tribe as well. So
Okay.
Yeah. And I just think this is a funny scene. In the movie, it also mentions stuff that will come later, like
Peru.
vampire babies. Yeah, like stuff like that. But she decides that she's in it. You know what I mean? Like she thinks she's going to have to commit to this.
Okay. This was a hilarious scene. I fucking loved it. Like that. Actually, and I wanted to, but I didn't. I need to Google and see. Have you Googled the stuff that she did? Is that actually stuff that is out there?
No, should we do it right now?
Did she just make that shit up?
I think she just made up the cold ones.
Okay, because the Strigoni vampire, or however you say it, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I wrote those
The
down.
Italian, he's a pasta buyer. I was like, are you kidding?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the Italian one because, one, I'm pretty sure that's Carlisle.
Strigoni.
And two,
What?
it's the vampire that's nice in Italy. I'm pretty sure that's Carlisle.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be canonically him.
But
yeah.
two, in the Vampire Academy, they have vampires. I don't know if I probably did not say that right. They have the good royal vampires that get a specific name, and then they have the bad vampires who are more canonically like vampires, you know, can't go out in the daylight and they kill people and whatnot. And they're the Strigoi. And so I was like, I wonder if that was
based off of that.
Yeah.
Well, the Nalapsi, I'm probably butchering these names, where she's like,
you're doing great, actually.
They're so fast that in an hour they can eat a whole village. And I was like, that's not fucking very fast. That's really fucking slow. And Angel could have knocked that shit out in like 10 minutes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But plus two,
especially compared to Edward.
It's only the hour after midnight that they can do, like, they have speed for 1 hour in a 24 set. Like, I don't know. It was just very weird and quite funny. I found the odd details hilarious.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm glad that you looked them up because I meant to do it and I forgot. And I love your commitment. I also think it's hilarious. You know, later she's talking to him about it and she asks him about come out into the sun. Like, can you walk into the sun? Do you sleep in a coffin? And it's like, I would never ask him that to his face.
He's
oh
like,
my gosh.
Myth.
That one's kind of true. Myth. Yeah. But I do think when she goes to school the next day and she doesn't see him there, she's super disappointed.
Yeah. And it's really sad because in Midnight Sun, you find out that he is literally watching her from the bush.
Watching her.
From the bushes.
Yeah. He's stalking her from day one.
Oh my God.
And he thinks it's hilarious. He thinks it's hilarious, especially when Mike comes up and is talking to her and he's like, ugh.
Okay.
He thinks it's funny that Bella has to deal with him, though.
Sort of. I mean, sometimes he's like, I really just want to kill him. But hearing Mike's voice in Midnight Sun or his thoughts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's like, when Bella tells him, oh, you know, I think you should ask Jessica out on a date. You know, Jessica's interesting. And he's like,
I hated that.
He's like, oh, well, Jessica's boobs are bigger, so I guess that's all right.
Literally, I was like, okay, Mike was kind of okay up to this point. What a creep.
Yeah.
It feels like for any of the guys in here that they are just a vehicle for her to seem more attractive to Edward. Like they really have no other, like look at Eric. That's why I was like, who the fuck is Eric?
Agreed.
Because I did not remember him. Because he really is just, so far, it seems like in that first part. And then once his role of that is over, then we really don't hear from him.
Which I have to make a correction because I think last episode I said that Eric was the only Asian character in the book, but Ben Chaney is the only Asian character in this school. And we don't even get to see him.
Oh. So I wonder if they meshed his character together with Ben's, like they did with Jessica. They put Lauren and Jessica together.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because Ben is the one that Angela actually is interested in.
which is all in Midnight Sun, which I'm glad that Christy is reading Midnight Sun. I would never ask you to read both because it's just a lot. But if you're going to read it, I'm like excited for us to be able to talk about it.
And I got what y'all were saying last time with his conversation between him and Alice, when all of a sudden he's doing these weird moves of like, yes, no, fucking say it in your head. Why are you,
Yeah.
Well, Alice can't read minds, but literally just have the conversation out loud. Don't go.
I thought they were going back and forth, though.
For the people, for the listeners, Brittany was just looking around aimlessly.
Okay, well then at least that makes a little more sense because I thought Alice could hear him. I thought he could push his thoughts into her mind. So if she couldn't, if it's only a one way, then maybe at least I get why he was doing the weird,
Yeah.
But I cannot get the guy who played Jasper in the movie out of my face when they are talking about him in there because it's just like,
Yeah, his fucking eyes.
Wildly constipated, but yet the dam is about to burst kind of face. Like, squeeze the cheeks. Squeeze the cheeks.
I mean,
Day zero.
He did. He looked, and
the
way they describe him. Oh, the one that always looks in pain.
Yeah, literally. I do agree. I think that's a good point, though, that you say that all the male characters are meant to emphasize how desirable Bella is.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of brings up a point for me that is that whenever Stephanie Meyer writes, I feel like none of her narrators are trustworthy. Bella doesn't have a actual concept of her own value and like sometimes doesn't see things the right way. She's clearly biased about a lot of things. And so is Edward. He also has a ton of biases. Even though he can read the minds of people, he still has a lot of emotions that he puts into his perception of the world. And so therefore, neither of them are reliable narrators. And so we kind of have to look at both characters and then take what we will from them. It's a little frustrating, but I do trust Bella a little more than Edward, if I'm being honest. Yeah. But anyway.
I don't know. I kind of trust them both the same, which is not at all.
That's also a valid take. All right. Where are we?
I will say this. Does that girl ever eat anything?
Bella?
Yeah, I mean, I know that Edward makes her eat in that restaurant,
right.
But she never eats lunch.
She eats a lot of breakfast. We get a lot of scenes of her eating breakfast.
And she makes dinner for Charlie, but I mean, I'm assuming she eats. But every time food is brought up, she's like, no, I'm good. I'm not hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the perfect character.
Mm-hmm.
So why would she need to eat? Why would she need to focus on food?
Because you need to survive, honey.
Also, she only reads the class.
How old is Stephanie Meyer?
Stephanie Meyer now is 51 years old.
Okay, so close enough. This felt very late 80s, early 90s type viewpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's an important note about her writing is a lot of her opinions, a lot of her viewpoints are dated.
The emailing.
Especially of her opinions on women, especially her opinions of how a relationship should be. It's very clear. And I'm sure that's also influenced by her upbringing.
Yeah. I saw a video from a Mormon who was like, it's the perfect Mormon society.
Yeah.
Was that hard, Lily?
What?
It was like, you were trying not to say it.
I tried. I was trying not to be like, 'cause she's a Mormon. But, I am always thinking about that. It's really my coworker's fault because he is so obsessed with Mormonism since he's an ex-Mormon and we talk about it all the time. And I'll sometimes bring up something about Twilight and be like, I just read blah, blah, blah. And he'll be like, oh, that's definitely an influence from her Mormon background. And so now when I read the books, I'm like, how much of this is because she's Mormon? And I think it's a lot.
A lot.
It feels a lot like a lot of repression.
Yes, that's so true. A lot of repressed feelings, a lot of how should I act in front of him, especially once you start reading Midnight Sun, Edward's perspective is so, I can't touch her. I can't feel her. It's wrong of me to think about kissing her. It's all these things. And like that added on with, Bella reads only the classics and like loves Jane Austen. Clearly Edward is supposed to be a Jane Austen character.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like there's layers of this.
Yeah.
And the fact that she brought into her story the fact that in Sense and Sensibility, one of the characters' name is Edward, and then in Mansfield Park, one of the characters' name is Edmund. I was like, is this why she chose the name Edward?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's something in the illustrated guide about it too. She intentionally was looking for that type of name, and she always loved Jane Austen. And I feel like, I don't know, it's very, I am not against the classics, but I just feel like there's this particular vibe she's going for.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but literally I was in college and Valentine's Day was coming up, and my teacher, I think my history teacher for some reason, told us our homework was that we had to watch Pride and Prejudice, the Keira Knightley one.
I love that movie, so don't you dare trash it.
I'm not trashing it. We had to watch that, and then we got a quiz on it the next day.
Oh, weird.
And I watched that movie. It was my first experience with any Jane Austen book, and I did enjoy it. And it was probably the first and only classic I have ever read that I enjoyed.
I mean, I love Pride and Prejudice, but I'm not a Jane Austen fan. You know what I mean? Like, I don't love all of her works.
Yeah.
But I like Pride and Prejudice.
I've never touched any of her other works. It's just Pride and Prejudice.
Well, it's just funny for her that she really latched on to Austen, and then the way that she wrote Twilight, it makes you feel like there's something there that she's wanting to express or to live her life in a way that she's not really maybe able to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she has this fantasy. Like, she wants that kind of man. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm putting too much on Meyer, but, a lot of people say that, this is a reflection of her. And I think that's pretty typical. A lot of authors put themselves into a book.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, Bella looks pretty much like Stephanie Meyer, so...
Yes. Yeah. That can't be a coincidence. But anyway, Bella, she ends up agreeing to go on a trip with Jessica and Angela to Port Angeles. She is not going to the dance, but she has agreed to help them pick out something to wear.
And thankfully, Lauren is not coming along.
Yes, we learned that apparently Tyler has been telling all of the students at Forks High School that he is taking Bella to the prom, even though
Fucker.
She has not agreed. Yeah, I was like, Tyler is the epitome of the audacity of men to just assume and then tell everybody.
Now, I didn't go to prom. I didn't want to go to prom. Although, at one point, I did have 4 proms to go to. One got suspended. One said that he's going to too many proms and he was just going to go to his own. One said all on the same day. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to prom. I didn't want to go in the first place.
I went to prom, but it was nothing special. Like, I honestly don't see the big
Yeah,
deal.
I think I went to junior prom and then I didn't feel like it was so fucking boring. I don't think I went to senior prom.
Yeah.
The best part to me about prom was seeing who everybody else brought, especially the outside kids. I remember someone bringing a full-on adult, and I remember being like, who is this man that is at prom? Like,
That's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's super creepy. We weren't supposed to bring anyone over, I think, 20 or 21, but people were trying to. Like, I remember some of the people that were at our prom, and I was like,
But did y'all stay?
what is happening?
But did y'all stay at... We never stayed at prom very long. It's the after parties that you would go to.
Oh, I went to the after parties. I went to the after parties.
Oh my God. Well, I was part of the outcasts, so I went to Waffle House with friends.
Nice.
As you do in the South. Like, we were not invited to parties, so,
I was friends with a bunch of band members, so we weren't part of the in crowd, but there were enough of us. Not that I was part of band, But, there were enough of us. Anyway, back to this scene. I know we had differing views on Jessica. I did not like her in the book, and it's all because of Midnight Sun. I think she's...
Edward hates her.
She's kind of a bitch. She sits there and goes, is Bella telling me to get this blue dress because she wants to see me fail? Like, how do you live that life?
That is a crazy statement, I will say. Although, I still feel like I feel like the problem is that I just want to defend a lot of the female characters because it's not their fault that Edward is a misogynist. They do stupid shit, but he is straight up a misogynist.
Yeah, he is.
He has really bad takes on all women except for Bella and Esme. That's it.
And it's only because he can't hear Bella's thoughts. Girlfriend.
Right. I think he would kind of hate her if he could hear her thoughts.
His perfect face.
You know what it is? I think because he can't hear her thoughts and he can mold her in his mind into what he wants.
100%, yes.
And Esme's his mother, so there's that whole, what is it?
She's perfect.
It's, Freud.
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck your mother?
It's like a little bit Freudian.
I'm trying to think of the term. Like, there's complex.
I know what
Oedipus.
Is it Oedipus?
There's two. One is you want to fuck your dad, and the other is you want to fuck your mom.
Wow, we suck at this. What is it called?
I know one is like an Oedipus complex, but what is...
Yeah. Oedipus complex works for both children. Oedipus works for both parents. So if you're a female, then you'd be jealous of or have envious, weird feelings towards your father. And it would be the same if you're a male for your mother.
I could have swore there was another term. Well, let's talk about how brilliant of a move it was for Bella, this 17-year-old, to go wandering around a small town by herself.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I live in a small town. I am not going alone by myself unless I've, been there and know it's safe.
Yeah, even in the early 2000s, I don't think I would have done that. And she's so young. She's like a kid. Like, what the fuck? Again, she's like so parentified that she just kind of just does whatever that she wants. And both of her parents let her do that. And I think it's hilarious that, like Charlie gets upset with her later when she tries to just do whatever she wants. That's because she's effectively an adult. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I was a very independent, I still am a very independent person. And I, at least if I have to go, say like downtown, I take precautions, lock my doors, if I'm going somewhere, I don't know anybody. I don't know the directions. I don't know. I've got everything prepared.
And yet she just goes wandering around looking for a bookstore. And then she finds a hippie bookstore and she's like, ew, no, I'm not going in there. And she's like, surely there's a normal bookstore around here, which I was like, what's your problem? There's probably good books in there.
For real.
But so she gets herself into some trouble, doesn't she?
Yeah, because she lets herself be herded.
It felt like a fantasy. I mean...
Really?
Well, not for me.
So
anymore.
You think that Meyer has a weird fantasy about this?
I mean, think about it. If you're going to find a bookstore so wholesome, so innocent, and then a group of men attack you, and this beautiful vampire comes up and saves you. And not only does he save you, but now he's so upset that you were in harm's way and is so worried about you that he is unable to really restrain himself, that he has to calm down from that. I mean, that's a big, I think, fantasy element. And don't get me wrong, we all would love to have that person that would just be devastated if something happened to us. And I think it felt like that.
Yeah.
So nowadays, the dark fantasy would be if the kidnappers were hot.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm so glad you brought that up because while I was reading this, I was thinking of that. And I was thinking about how I really feel like Twilight, as a formative series in pop culture, has influenced dark romance, because even though Edward is supposed to be this like perfect, really protective, standout traditional guy, he is really the villain, and he really is kind of like an early like dark fantasy type. Like he stalks her, he's obsessive about her.
Tamlin?
Not really Tamlin, but it's just his obsessiveness about her is very similar to other dark romance.
I will give Edward this. He never locks her in his house.
Very true. Just some aspects of it, of how he sees his role in her life, reminds me of Tamlin.
Well, Edward does make Alice keep her locked up.
What book is that?
I'm pretty sure that's book 3, whenever there's a love triangle between her and Jacob, and she wants to go see Jacob, and he doesn't like that, so he gets Alice to keep her occupied so that she can't go see Jacob.
That's manipulation, though. That's not really locking her up and being like, you can't leave.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Oh, and spoilers.
Sorry.
I mean,
everyone's read this, right?
You were warned.
Also, Homegirl leaves her pepper spray at home because that does you a lot of good there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super not good. She gets cornered, and like you said, Edward sweeps in. He is furious. He is uncontrollable. He's like, prattle on about something unimportant to distract me, which is the craziest thing he could have said to her. So uppity about it. But she's like so thankful that he swooped in, and she's just so normal about it.
She's like, I'm going to run over Tyler when we get back to school.
Yeah, she's upset with Tyler right now. Not the fact that she was almost kidnapped or like whatever.
And the funny thing is that Edward, every time that she makes a threat or, promises violence or whatever, he thinks it's funny. He's like, oh, that's so cute.
He's like, wow, she's so adorable. And he is so pushy. Like, now I kind of understand where the 50 Shades of Grey thing comes in, because he's so about control and like pushy. And
her safety. Christian was all about, you need to be safe all the time.
He takes her to dinner, and this is a pivotal moment in the story when they have this dinner at this Italian restaurant, which I think it's hilarious. It's an Italian restaurant because I think Stephenie Meyer has a thing for Italian things. Her character's name is Bella. They go to an Italian restaurant. There's a whole group of Italian vampires we'll talk about later,
And what the fuck for Angela? What the fuck kind of friend has it in a strange new city? Your friend goes missing and you sit your ass down and have a nice meal.
So
really?
You will find this out in Midnight Sun. It is actually Jessica who was like, fuck it, I want to eat.
Yeah, it's actually Jessica.
Okay, Angela wanted to wait.
I put in the notes very clearly that I cannot blame Jessica because she was played by Anna Kendrick, and therefore she cannot take any blame. Therefore, it is Angela.
I think the Jessica from the movie is a lot better than the one in the book. Yeah. Honestly.
Oh my God. I feel the opposite because I do not like her in the movies at all. I like her in the books.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen them, but I don't remember her being as bitchy as all this. I
feel like she's so much worse.
Especially with like Edward's telling of her thoughts.
Yeah. No, he doesn't make her look good at all.
For Angela or Jessica?
But Angela. He really likes. Jessica. He really likes Angela.
Okay, that's what I was thinking because I know so far in Midnight Sun it was that she's. I can't remember how I put it. Basically, that she's always kind, which is odd. Okay.
Yeah. Angela's the perfect one. Jessica is the one that he doesn't like. Which again, I feel like she's just shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You were talking about the restaurant scene.
Yeah. Restaurant.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, we get into the restaurant and Bella is immediately noticing that all of the women in this restaurant are fascinated by Edward. And of course, the first interaction she has is the hostess, who is a blonde, and she's just like so horrified at this lady. And then the waitress is also all over him.
Oh yeah. In Midnight Sun, the hostess is sitting there like, that's gotta be his cousin. He wouldn't want to talk to her.
My God.
Not a sister because they don't look close enough, but it must be a family member.
They're like, surely not. He wouldn't be seen out with her. Keep in mind, Edward is wearing the ugliest outfit he possibly could wear, which is a tan leather jacket.
90s stuff.
It is a tan leather jacket with an ivory turtleneck underneath. Listen, I think if it was brown, if it was chocolate, if it was a black leather jacket,
contrast,
all of those would be fine. Yeah.
Contrast.
It's the fact that he's only wearing light neutrals. Sounds horrible.
What did that lady say? Backstreet, a boy.
Yeah, that's Sarah Gallagher has pointed this out, and she says that it reminds her of the Backstreet Boys, which is amazing.
I have always been told my whole life I am not a fashionable person, but I've been told my whole life you don't put one color in one shade and another color in a slightly different shade together. Not that I ever would, but...
Right. When you have two different shades of black, like you can't do the two different tones of black.
I'm sure I do it all the time, but I'm not out there.
I only wear
acting
black.
Cool either. Like I own the nerd.
It's just funny because he's supposed to have all this money and be like really beautiful, but to me that's like so goofy looking. But different times.
I have to say this. So I've been rewatching Rizzoli and Isles, and the mother, Angela, wore this dress that both her daughter and Dr. Isles were like, Angela, that looks horrible on you. And it is pretty much that color. And she's like, I'm breaking up with my boyfriend today. So I have to look frumpy.
And it's like a tan? Oh, God. No, when you break up your boyfriend, you're supposed to look hot as fuck.
She didn't want to remind him, because she liked him. She just wanted to be alone.
I guess that's nice.
And he was Jane's boss, so.
I gotcha. Okay. But, so he rebuffs their interest. Edward is not at all interested in these women.
He doesn't even look at them. He just stares at her the whole time.
Yeah. And he only orders for Bella because he fully assumes that she's going to go into shock. And she's not.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the funniest parts is he's like, surely she's torn up about what just happened. Surely she's upset about this. And she's just like, I'm fine. It is weird that she's just fine. She should be more scared.
She says something along the lines of, I'm used to repressing horrible things. It made me wonder, what fucking... I mean, okay, yeah, you've almost died 3 times and we're in chapter 12 here, but...
Yeah.
What other horrible things happened to you?
Yeah, because I thought your life in Arizona was great.
Yeah.
Normal. Like, what is it?
Perhaps it was a slip by the author?
Maybe. Because what other things, Bella?
I think it's supposed to be like, let me show her maturity that she doesn't go into shock. She can handle scary things.
Have you guys ever had a horrible experience like this with men? Because I have.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and it leaves, I don't know about y'all, but it leaves me shaken up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to believe how powerful you are or how much you can defend yourself. And in those moments, you realize just how little control you have. And it's terrifying.
Yeah. And especially, I don't know about y'all, but I have this really intense anxiety response where it feels kind of like a panic attack sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'll be shaking for like an hour or so after the event. And she's just like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Not a big deal.
It makes me wonder if Stephenie Meyer has ever experienced something like that before.
Yeah, I would assume that most women have gone through an unfortunate event like this. Like, we all know men in our lives that are not good people, but she doesn't seem to. There are very few reactions that Bella has that are
realistic,
indicative that she would understand. Realistic. Oh, yeah.
I mean, because even after something like that happens, do you not, even though you shouldn't have to, I think you still look back at what you could have done different what choices you could have made to not put you there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's total bullshit.
Yeah.
You should be able to do whatever you want and not have to worry about that. But you still, I think that protective sense in your own mind goes there. And there was nothing like that. For her, it was very much like she just moved past it and no worries.
Yeah, to this day, like y'all know, it's my experiences have been plaguing me, especially recently. So it's like, you never get over it.
Yeah.
It's what I told y'all before. It's almost like it's just, I put a Band-Aid on it and it was fine. And then all this shit happened and it kind of got ripped open.
Yeah. Well, it's fresh.
It is something that most of the people I know have experience with it, and something that you can hide from, but you don't really get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet Bella, because she is a perfect character, is unaffected. But they end up having a conversation that I don't know how y'all felt the first time you read the books, but I was glued to the page this first time that I read the restaurant scene, because it was the first time that Bella had really confronted him face to face about what she had seen, and he was being open about it in a way that he hadn't up to this point. And I remember being like, oh my God, it felt like the tension in the air, and I was so glued to it.
Yeah, this is one of those turning points in a novel that, okay, finally we know what the mystery is. We can now let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, he reveals that he can hear people's thoughts, although they frame it like a hypothetical. And he says it's with one exception, which is obviously Bella. And
although he didn't say anything about Charlie. I know he can't totally not hear his thoughts. They're muffled.
Yeah, I don't know if you've read this part yet, Christy, but it's revealed in Midnight Sun that he can only sort of hear Charlie's thoughts, that they're not clear the way other people's thoughts are. He's kind of blocked off.
He always thought that Charlie was just slow.
Aww.
But he was like, no, it turns out it's not that he's stupid. He's just different, like Bella.
Oh, does he ever hear her mother?
Yes, and Renee's thoughts scream at him.
That sounds about right.
That fits.
Yeah.
That fits. Okay. So, in my previous attempt to read Midnight Sun, I only made it to the Port Angeles thing, and then I gave up because I couldn't take anymore.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I'm going to try.
All of this from now on is new to me.
I do think this is around where I stopped the first time, because I don't recall really anything after this point from Midnight Sun. So,
but is that more because it feels like that a lot of Midnight Sun so far is just his, oh, I can't hear Bella. Oh, I can't do this. Oh,
yeah.
But it's the same shit.
Why
You're just saying, okay, well, if I've read that, then I've read the whole book.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I stopped reading it, is he's kind of insufferable, Yeah.
He's a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll see why I low-key hate that book. But an interesting thing about him not being able to hear Charlie, to me, is I think that it's a retcon, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't mention it in the rest of the Twilight books at all.
Nope.
Which you would think he would have said to Bella.
Yeah. I wonder if it's in the original Midnight Sun, though, that she was
I don't know.
writing.
There was a lot of stuff that I remember from book 1 to book 2 that either it was like, oh, this is how it is in book 1, and all of a sudden it shifts in book 2, or it got completely forgotten. I'll have to read through it again to remember what it was, but I just remember that first read feeling like, okay, these are not matching up, or there's this thread that's kind of placed and we're not following it.
That sounds like Stephanie Meyer, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. That sounds like something that she would do.
I'll have to watch for it, and I'll note it when I come across it.
Okay. So he also admits to stalking her.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I feel so tingly about it.
Yeah, she's like, I know I should be upset about this, but why do I feel like weirdly flattered that
all I feel is pleasure.
He was stalking me all day and tracked me down by my scent. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, have you thought about the other times he may have been stalking you that he has not said yet?
Yeah, remember how you opened your window and you were like, oh, it's oddly not creaky anymore.
Literally. And she doesn't know yet, even at this point in the book, that he has been watching her sleep.
Oh, yeah. And there is a scene in Midnight Sun where he was like, I wonder what it would feel like to just rub my fingers on her lips while she sleeps. And I was like, damn, somebody did that to me one time. And we were at, a party, and I was sleeping on the couch, and I felt something wet on my lip. And
Ew.
I woke up
Punching?
like that.
And Brittany does have the fight in the fight or flight.
He was standing over me, and he looked so terrified because he was like, you were asleep. And I was like,
and you're like, what are you doing?
yeah, what was that? What
That's
did you
so
do?
creepy.
He was like, I just touched your lips with my finger. Uh-huh.
But where were those fingers before?
Exactly.
Freak.
Yeah, see,
Can we talk about Edward's teeth? Because he flashes them a lot in this section.
Yeah.
And I heard, I don't know where it was from, but they said that Stephenie Meyer made her vampires have normal teeth because their teeth are just so strong that they don't need the pointy fangs to get through
he's like
human
marble.
skin.
Yeah.
And I was like,
ew.
my teeth can get through human skin. If I bite hard enough, I'm getting through that skin. It's not like the fangs aren't there for the vampire. They're there for the victim. So that it doesn't hurt as bad.
Ew.
It's a good point. And you know what? The science of it all, the Stephenie Meyer science, if you will, which is something that Sarah Gallagher has termed, is that she probably thought it was a good idea not to give them fangs, but in reality, it's actually horrifying.
Yeah,
Very
it makes them so much worse.
Oh my! I mean, it's like
God damn
every
it! The
decision.
poor fucking animals. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I hate this bitch now.
oh my god! Yeah, Stephenie Meyer makes some questionable decisions about the science of her vampires, and this is just one of them.
I mean, I would very much rather have some pointy needle tooth in me breaking my skin than
Then to rip all your muscle and ligaments and shit off in order to like bleed you out. That's just gross.
It's a great point. Do you think vampires have little straws in their teeth that helps them suck the blood, or is it like a rip and they just like then they drink?
I think they're like
I'm gonna, now that you say that, I'm gonna, sip my
oh my god.
Also, can I point out that my tongue is like
vampire
super red?
Noticed that. She's a vampire.
What are you drinking?
Oh my god.
It's a sugar-free fruit punch.
She's drinking blood, okay?
Yeah, totally drinking blood. Yeah.
Okay. So, Edward opens up to Bella, and we learn some things. We learn he can read minds. We learn that he drives super fucking fast for no reason at all.
Which, honestly, 100 miles an hour, I know I really shouldn't
Brittany,
admit
that's
to
fast.
this, but
Brittany,
I've
that's
done
fast.
that. I've done that.
God damn it.
I'm not saying it's not fast. I'm saying normal people drive that fast.
Oh my God.
Why
don't.
No, they don't, Brittany. No, they don't.
I've done it.
You and like the handful of other crazies out there, maybe, but I don't do that.
Granted, I was the only one on the road, and it was super deserted.
In Brittany,
Straight.
in the Prius?
Huh?
In the Prius?
No, it was actually in my Camry. In my Camry.
The Prius.
My my black Camry that I had before.
Oh, I was just like, it's something about it really tickled me that I thought you were in the Prius.
No, it's funny because I didn't even realize I was going 100 miles an hour until the cop flashed his lights at me, and it was out of his jurisdiction. So all he did was flash his lights at me, and I was like, "Oh, slowing down."
Oh my gosh! That does sound like something you would do. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't even realize it. I was just driving to Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. And Bella freaks out at his driving because he gets her home ridiculously fast. She's also admits,
like, I'm the daughter of a cop. I've been raised to follow the rules.
Yeah. She's like, you have to let me drive now. You have to let me drive to wherever we're going on Saturday.
I will say this about their conversation in the car. There's one point where he says, it was very hard. And there's like a pause in between very and hard. And so the narrator says it like, it was very hard. And I was like, what was hard?
Edward would never.
And the one of the chapters starts that way too. She says, it was hard in the morning. And I was like, stop. So he's got morning wood too.
Oh my God. He also says, she asks him how old he is, and he's like, I'm 17. And she's like, how old have you been 17? And he's like,
a while.
A long time. I mean, how long have you been 17?
Uh-huh.
And what else? What does he get really upset about? She
said that she decided that the fact that he's a vampire didn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And he like flips the script on her and gets super mad, like really fast.
Yeah.
His mood swings are off the wall.
Oh my God.
They are crazy.
He's old enough to have mastered that shit by now. But once again, these are the shittiest secret keepers ever. She rats Jacob out. Like,
yeah, I know.
Agreed. Away.
Agreed. And Edward's sitting there like, oh, well, I guess I can go massacre everybody on the res now because they broke.
Well, he just talked about killing these guys, and then she rats him out for that. And I'm like, wow, you are sucking at the secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Edward's like, well, he broke the treaty, so I could just go kill them, but he doesn't.
Kill them all? They don't have their protectors anymore.
But I will say, since you brought up that he's old enough, here's another crazy science fact that Stephanie Meyer made up. She says that they stay the age that they are when they turn. So he did not develop past 17, and he still has the mind of a 17-year-old. So he doesn't have a fully developed brain. And none of them do, except for Esme, because Esme's 26, and your brain's not developed until 25, and the rest of them are younger.
So I saw a counter argument for that on the internet today, where they said that in the illustrated guide, it says that they develop mentally to be far superior to humans, and that their brains are just like firing rapidly and whatnot.
But her saying that they don't develop past the age is also in the illustrated guide. Because that's how she defends that it's not weird for him to be dating Bella, is because he's supposed to be eternally 17.
I get that. Okay. I think that I have always thought of Edward as a 17-year-old brain.
Right.
And then when somebody pointed that out, I was like, that just makes it even more than it is already.
But so from your first day of 17 to your last day of 17, you still learn stuff and you can grow. So he's not capable of learning and growing and making better choices.
He is.
He can learn. His brain just won't develop.
Yeah, he can learn things. He just might still make poor choices.
He'll never be able to have alcohol or vote.
What a
or
shame.
Rent a car.
He just buy a car.
Yeah.
He said they're toys. That's what he said in Midnight Sun. But he gets really upset with her. He drops her off, and he's like, you should tell Charlie that we're going out on Saturday because I need a reason to bring you back. I think that's later. But he does talk about hunting.
Yeah, and she's like, do I get to witness it?
He's like, no. Yeah, the whole rest of this section is really interrogations. She has one of her chapters is named interrogations, and we get a couple of them. We get interrogations from Jessica because Jessica wants to know everything about what happened with Edward.
And then she calls Bella a liar. She's like,
yeah.
In Midnight Sun, she's like, she's obviously not telling me the whole truth.
Which Bella isn't.
Right. Yeah. She's kind of tight-lipped about it. She's not a very good, for as loose as she is with the secrets, she's not very good with information on the gossip part of it.
Bella is a liar. She does kind of lie about it. And then Mike also interrogates her and Jim. And then Edward interrogates her for like 2 days.
Mike's whole, all right, so you're with Cullen now?
Yeah,
that guy just looks at you like he wants to eat you.
Hilarious.
So do you, Mike.
Dude.
So do you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if you were a friend saying that because you were concerned about Bella, that would be one thing. This is because you didn't get the girl and Edward did.
Yeah, he's butthurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sleazy.
It
for
is.
A character who's supposed to be like Golden Retriever-esque.
It is. And I mean, the more I learn about Mike Newton, the more I'm just like, he can die.
Yeah. And I would say it's unfortunate in a way that we're reading Midnight Sun because I was blissfully unaware of so many things.
Oh, speaking of which, also, when going back to the telling Jacob thing, he laughs in his head because Bella has to confess that she flirted with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this poor Jacob. He probably was so taken by her. Poor Jacob Bella doesn't know what she's doing, how she comes off to people. And I'm like, really? You're going to say that in a couple of books? Poor Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have quite a change of tune.
Yep. He kind of he thinks it's hilarious that she manipulated him, and he doesn't at all see Jacob as a threat at this point in the series. And then we learn when he comes and picks her up the day that he starts interrogating her, because she has a full day to ask him questions and she has a full day and he has a full day and a half kind of to ask her.
He gets like 2.
Yeah,
or
he gets
more.
A lot of time to ask her questions because he's just obsessed with knowing everything because he can't read her mind. And one thing that I thought was interesting is when he lends her his jacket, it's to help mask the scent of her. And that's in Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
I thought that was really odd. I did not realize that before.
Her scent gets on his jacket after she wears it, and then he wears it so that he can smell it all the time.
Is it like a vaccine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's exposure therapy. It's exposure therapy.
Well, it's both. It's both to mask her scent to smell like him so that she's not as strong smelling. And then also he smells the jacket and he stands in her room at night to expose himself, or that's just what he was telling himself, to expose himself to the smell of her so that he can get used to it. Yeah.
And
what a freak. Seriously.
I was just going to say, he says that they try to blend in. They don't.
No. No.
Yeah.
Really? So, you think you blend in?
That's kind of what I was going to bring up. Was one, guys, he's driving a shiny Volvo. They're not eating. They wear designer clothes.
Yeah.
Rosalie has a what is it called? An M3? Like BMW or something like, and it's a red convertible. Come on. You're not blending in.
No.
And then when you're in lunch where
bit.
everybody is being boisterous and talking to each other, y'all are fucking staring at the wall.
Staring at the wall. Mm-hmm. Only talking to each other. Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if they talked to each other, they would look more normal. There was one scene where I think Alice threw a snowball at them that they actually kind of looked normal. But most of the time, they just sit there and stare at the wall because they have nothing to say to each other.
Why go to high school? They could say that they were homeschooled. Why the fuck are they going to high school?
That is a good fucking point.
That was my thought. And the only reason that they really go to high school is so that he can meet Bella. That is the only reason.
Yep.
But I think it's hilarious to me, what is interesting to me is that Edward normally drives all of the Cullens to classes. And I think it's interesting that Edward is the one that drives, because why is it Edward out of everybody? But when he's not driving, it's Rosalie.
Yeah. I think it's because he has the most blendable car.
No.
He has that Volvo.
Like, Rosalie is not going to drive. I think she's more of the chauffeur type. Emmett's too big. He can't fit behind the wheel. Alice seems like she would lose her concentration and drive off a cliff. So I think Edward's really the only one that would,
Did you just say Emmett's too big? He wouldn't fit behind the wheel.
Okay. To give
like
Christy credit.
It'd be like,
To give Christy credit, in the movies, he is literally standing all the time when he's being driven around.
Yeah.
He's literally, they have a Jeep or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's literally standing in the back, or he shows up standing in the back of Bella's truck.
Yep.
He's always standing.
He's really big. I think Emmett is such a highlight of Midnight Sun too, because he is so fucking dorky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he calls Edward kid. I think he's like, don't worry about it, kid. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's such a weird character.
Like, I'm 18, you're 17.
Yeah.
I get to call you kid.
And canonically, guys, he's from Tennessee, so he's supposed to have a really strong Gatlinburg type of accent. And I cannot unhear it sometimes when I'm reading. I'm like, what the hell?
I also love the fact that...
Don't worry about it, kid.
You'll get with your sister later.
Yeah. And don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
I love the fact that he is, I think in the first cafeteria scene, he's literally trying to get Jasper to have an arm wrestling competition so that he can win, because I think he lost the last one and he always has to win.
Yes.
And then we learn he goes after bears when he feeds because a bear killed him.
Right.
And so he feels the need to have to, like, fight back.
Yeah, he goes after them specifically.
Aw.
I'm sorry.
Because a bear killed him.
Well, but
he was
they
mauled.
just killed him. He was a little amuse-bouche. He was a little snack. They were simply hungry. There was no ill will there.
Christy, ever the animal defender, and I respect it.
I mean, bears are cute. I'm just saying.
They are adorable. They're absolutely adorable.
I will say, to round up the discussion of like the interrogations and stuff like that, I think it's hilarious that he spies on her in gym and that he spies on her in class, because it is so funny the way he's like, so how was gym? Like,
how's your head?
Do you want to talk about Jessica? I think if Edward stayed that kind of character and wasn't a freak, he would be really awesome. Like, I think that's hilarious. It would go more towards Reese as opposed to Edward.
There is something that I believe I heard Sarah Gallagher say. I hope I'm getting that citing right. But she said that a lot of women fell in love with Edward because he asks his love interest questions.
Like, he's interested in her.
He's interested. She's
What's
like,
your
guys,
favorite color?
This is all you have to do. Show some interest.
I think it's really sad.
It is really sad. Although, I will say, nobody has ever asked me in my multiple decades of living what my favorite gemstone is. Nobody felt the need to know what my gemstone was.
And she immediately says topaz, by the way, out of like this weird... Obviously, it's topaz.
Yeah, ask me in 2 weeks, it'll be onyx.
That's honest. You know what? Thinking back on that, that's actually kind of smooth. If you landed that as a lie.
Sorry. I also have to say is brown is a shitty favorite color. I'm sorry. I know, don't hate me, but it is a shitty favorite color.
Literally.
Yeah. Brown used to be my least favorite color, but I've grown to appreciate it.
And yet my room is green and brown. It's not that I don't like the color, but my favorite color is green, and it just brown is an accent color.
Yeah.
That it's another neutral. It's another neutral. There are so many
Yep.
freaking neutrals.
I do want to say she eventually kind of gets caught trying to hide that she's hanging out with Edward, which is they're sitting in the car and he's like, "Oh, Charlie's coming home. You should probably get out of the car now if you don't want him to know." And somehow he misses or kind of is a little off in timing whenever Billy Black and Jacob drive up and see that it's Edward Cullen sitting in the car with her.
In Midnight Sun, he says that he was only listening for Charlie's because that's the only one that ever comes there.
Right.
And their car wasn't familiar.
Right.
Which, first of all, every time I hear Billy Black, all I can think is Billy Burke, which is the person who plays Charlie. But
yes,
Charlie
who I love.
Fusses.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Charlie fusses at Jake. He was like, "I see you behind the wheel."
Yeah.
And he was like, "We get our license early on the res." And I'm like, I got my learner's permit at 15.
Yeah,
Why
same.
is that a big deal? I could drive the car if I had a parent in the car with me.
Yeah, he should have been allowed to drive.
Yeah.
Although, isn't he 14?
No, he's 15.
Is he 15?
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. But yes, Jacob even sees the Volvo and is like, "That's a cool ass car."
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jacob's such a sweetheart in this scene, despite the fact that he clearly has the biggest, fattest crush on Bella. He's like, "So who was that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Anyway, so who was driving the car?"
And Billy's like, "And Jacob wouldn't quit badgering me about coming to see you, Bella." Thanks, Dad. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, well, Jacob also ratted him out about wanting to watch the game. He said their TV broke.
And so in Midnight Sun, of course, Edward is spying on this conversation.
Yeah.
And Billy is literally just like ranting about vampires in his head and what do I do? And
cold
he's like
one,
all
cold
super
one.
frantic. He's all super frantic about, "I spotted one in the neutral zone."
Yeah. And Bella's freaking out about Bella is freaking out about Charlie figuring out that Edward's there. Like, maybe Billy would say something to him. But it seems like he doesn't. He seems like he keeps it to himself, and eventually they move on. But the craziest part of this chapter, in my opinion, is that after that, when she realizes she has to spend the night with or she has to spend the next day with Edward, she medicates herself to go to sleep.
Which I completely understand, like the anxiety part when I have a fear of airplanes, and I had to get on an airplane for the first time in my life, and I didn't sleep for the 2 days prior to it. So I actually fell asleep on the plane. So I get that. I get the not being able to sleep because you're so anxious and whatnot.
Same.
But also, medicating yourself to sleep, in my experience, is horrible.
Yeah.
It makes me super groggy the next day. I'm not rested at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
And, well, what's crazy to me is this is a book meant for children. And there have been so many, and by children, I mean mostly like teens or young adults, but still kids. And she's done so many things in this book so far that are questionable. And this is another one of them. This is the one that's like, okay, I cannot believe that I read this in middle school, because I don't even think I knew that was a thing in middle school. Like the fact that somebody could medicate themselves and go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy.
You only took drugs when you needed them.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's so funny.
Usually under
It's on
some
the
sort of
page.
parent supervision kind of thing, but for her to be able to do it and make the choices on her own to do that seems a little odd.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my parents kept the aspirin, Advil, Tylenol, whatever it was, in their medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And I had to ask if I wanted to use it.
She
The
does
other thing-
so much by herself.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing I thought was crazy was right before he goes off with Alice, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, if this ends badly, we've been in public too much. It might blow back on me." So what does she do? She goes home and tells Charlie, "Oh, I'm not going to Seattle and I'm not hanging out with Edward." And
Yep.
oh, Jessica, by the way, he canceled, so
I'm
not
just
gonna
staying
hang
home.
out.
I'm just going to do laundry. That is wild to me that she made sure that nobody knew what she was doing.
For fear of what would happen to him if she died.
And Edward is furious about it. When he finds out, he's actually so blown that she made sure that nobody knew where they were going.
I mean, he is absolutely correct. I don't know if he said it in Midnight Sun or in Twilight, but her instincts are awful.
Yeah. I think he says it in both.
Like,
yeah.
If there was a correct way of doing it, she would choose the very, very wrong, deadly way.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, she gets kind of blown whenever she finds out they're going to have to hike up this trail. And he's like, oh, it's just 5 miles. And I'm thinking to myself, if somebody didn't warn me about hiking 5 miles, I'd also be kind of blown, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, no.
Especially, if I was as clumsy as
Yeah.
she is, and the fact that she hates all the greenery, and was this really the best choice?
Unfortunately, they do end up going out there, and unfortunately, we leave our section right before the meadow scene. So we stop right there.
Well, they get there. She goes out, and he's still in the shade.
Yeah,
and it ends right as he's stepping out, I think, or about to step out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We get to go to Sparkleville.
Sparkleville. Sparkle High. Yeah, so we end a section there. Most of this section is really like them getting to know each other. We learn a lot of things. They answer questions that haven't been answered. And they are already super obsessed with each other. She admits that she loves him to herself. He says the same to himself. They're already both really entrenched in this relationship. Is there anything else you guys wanted to point out? I did want to say there's 2 things that I haven't pointed out that I forgot. The little saying that she says instead of holy shit is holy crow. I've never heard that before.
Me neither.
And it's in the book twice. And I remember being like, that's an interesting version of the oh my god, or holy shit. She says holy crow. I've never seen that before. I just thought that was odd. I kind of like it. It's weird. The other one is that in Midnight Sun, where there's a chapter in between things where Edward goes home and he's writing the lullaby that ends up being Bella's lullaby. And Alice comes and sits with him and sings 2 octaves higher than what he's playing at, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm not a big music person. I can't even imagine what that sounds like. I'm sitting here picturing in vampire only range.
Yes,
like dogs.
What are we whistle noting this? It just sounds crazy to consider.
I will say we do get a bit of foreshadowing in episode chapter, what is it, 7, where she says, there wasn't anything on I wanted to watch, but he knew I didn't like baseball, so he turned it to some mindless sitcom that neither of us enjoyed. It's foreshadowing for the baseball game that we'll get later.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Love that scene in the movies. Love that scene.
Why? Because of the music?
Yeah, the music is great. I love that song.
Uh-huh.
The last things that I wanted to talk about was, so we do learn that he does not sleep at all.
Right.
And I find, my mom has always joked, I know I said this last episode, but she's always joked that I'm a vampire because I'm a night owl. I don't really like the sun, and I like vampire novels.
Right.
And I don't think I could live without sleep. I love sleep.
Same. But he is undead.
If I didn't get tired, I would be great. I would love not sleeping.
I think I would go crazy.
I would have fucking time finally.
Oh my god.
I mean, as much as I so my medication causes nightmares, and I have a lot of nightmares about being chased by AI robots and dinosaurs and whatnot, which I can deal without. But it's also
at the same time or in separate dreams.
Hold on.
It's also the time that I get to live my little fantasies and have my meadow moments. As you know, I also would love to be a writer one day, but I get to visit the places in my head. I have a hard time doing that while I'm awake.
What? You get to just choose what you're doing in your dreams?
No, but I get to visit them.
Mine doesn't work that way. I get to shit places in my dreams.
I mean, like I said, I get chased by dinosaurs a lot.
Well, you know what? Next time, turn around and give them a hug.
Yeah, hug the dinosaur.
Yes.
See how that goes. You update us.
The velociraptor.
You update us on that. You let us know.
Through a mall. I hid in a pile of clothes. The other vampire aspect that they talked about was the fact that they don't eat, and he eats in front of her pizza, and food tastes disgusting to him, and he's like, I gotta regurgitate it later. And I'm like, that also makes like
Ew.
Food and sleep are kind of two of my life makes worth living.
But if the front door part works, how does the back door part not work?
It doesn't. That's the thing, is he said he's going to have to figure out how to throw it up. The regular bowels don't work.
But why is there even a space down there for the pizza?
I guess because he's perpetually like that. Like, his intestines didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but shouldn't it just go like loop through and down the chute?
I wonder if you
I didn't write these books, man.
If you died with food in your stomach and you're perpetually stuck in whatever state you were, so your acid is digesting this food forever, does that mean you can eat?
No, she says that they become perfect, which I guess means that they don't need to eat.
Or poop.
I would want to eat.
Same.
But he also says in
sense.
Midnight Sun that it tastes like shit, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what a bummer. I don't want to be a vampire, or at least a vampire in this world.
I know. I wouldn't want to be a vampire in this world either.
No.
Neither does Edward, or the rest of them.
Since in bringing up the whole they become perfect, you lose your freckles. Literally, I went to the beach a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, my freckles are back!
Well, but she says they become perfect, but she just means physically.
Yes.
You lose your freckles, your moles, all of that.
Oh, have we not talked about the fact that you lose all the pigment in your skin?
Oh, no. Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about it. Yeah. So this is one of the worst things.
No matter what ethnicity you are, you become white.
Yep.
Or
it is canon.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or as she describes it as an olive.
But no. You don't become white because in the one of the bad vampires in...
Yes. So that is actually a decision that was made by the production team, and they had to fight Stephanie Meyer on it because she didn't want any black characters. She said, no, my vampires are white. And the casting team was like, we need some kind of diversity.
Are you serious?
And she agreed to it because he was evil.
Although... out of the three evil ones, he was the best one.
Yeah. She agreed to it because he was a bad vampire. And this is the crazy part to me. That later, she doubled down on her feelings on it because the illustrated guide came out after the movies, and she wrote in the illustrated guide that you lose all the pigment in your skin, and you do not keep your skin color. So if you are darker skinned, you might be a little olive toned. But you do lose your pigment.
You get to be slightly not chalk white.
This is one of the things that people hate her so much for, validly. Like, this is the worst thing that she could have written into her books. And she sticks by it.
I did not know. Of course, truth be told, I really didn't pay much attention to the movies. But, oh my God, how the fuck did that get?
So this is such a big deal in the fandom. It is one of the things people harp on the most because it's awful. It's racist. It is so problematic. And a lot of people talk about this in relation to her Mormon faith, because in the Mormon faith, it was taught for a long time that when you die, you become perfect and your skin is released of all imperfections. And for a long time, they didn't let Black people into the church. That is a new thing. They now are allowing people of color to enter the Mormon church, but for a long time, they didn't.
Man.
It's so sadly baked into a lot of institutions, and I think it is definitely important we don't overlook it. She intended for her books to be racist, and she doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That is insane.
Yep, and this is, when we start talking about Jacob and the Quiute tribe, I do think we should consider her feelings on non-white people and how she treats this tribe. You know what I mean? Like, we should definitely take it into consideration when we're reading the books. Yeah. Because it's messed up. It's messed up.
Holy shit. Okay.
And we can end it there on that note. Yeah, I'm glad we told you that, Christy. I don't know why, I thought we had this conversation already. That's
not
crazy.
To that extent. I mean, I knew some of the other stuff, but not to that extent that she did that with the actual actors.
Yeah.
And like when I read the books before, it was kind of, glazing over a bit, especially once it got to those parts. Yeah. So I wasn't reading it as deeply. And the movies I really wasn't that interested in. So I didn't pay attention. So that is crazy.
Yeah. It's messed up on a lot of levels.
Yeah, that is majorly fucked up.
All right. Well, we'll end it there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode. We're going to discuss Twilight chapters 13 through 17. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.